Hello everybody and welcome once again to the SENA TV Web English Show, where we will visit different and wonderful places in the United States and learn more about the lives of the most famous Americans that have made an impact in our world. Here, you'll get to know more about the U.S. culture, tourism, and history. We invite you to join us on this amazing journey through the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be entertained.
Lunes de Bilingüismo.
The United States is well known for its diversity in sports. Pay attention to our following segment so you can see why sports are an important part of the American culture.
It's known as the Great American Pastime. It's as American as apple pie, baseball, the quintessential game of the United States. The game involves two teams of 9 players. Each team alternates who is on offense and who is on defense. There is no time limit to a baseball game. One game lasted for 8 hours and 25 minutes before the winner was decided. Major League Baseball, the MLB, is the official professional organization of baseball in the United States, composed of 30 teams playing on fields in most of the major cities of North America. Some of the more storied organizations include the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, the Chicago Cubs, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Some of the biggest stars come from international locations, including stars such as Edgar Renteria and Orlando Cabrera from Colombia. If you go to the US and ask to see a football game, you might not see what you expect. What Americans call football is far different from what Colombians call fútbol. That is compared to what US people call soccer. American football is played with one team on offense and the other team on defense. The modern form of American football was developed in North America after a game between Harvard and McGill University. While baseball is undoubtedly the sport most famously intertwined with American culture, American football currently surpasses it in popularity. The National Football League, or NFL, is the professional league that plays every week on Sundays, beginning in September and finishing in February with the culminating event, the Super Bowl, watched worldwide by over 110 million fans. Even though some people just watch it for the incredible TV commercials. With so many eyes glued to the television, TV commercials cost more than $2.5 million for 30 seconds during the Super Bowl. Some of the most notable NFL teams include the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions, and San Francisco 49ers. However, it's not just the pros that are popular. Every Saturday from late August through November, college football is king. College alumni, students, and football fans alike fill stadiums and spend all day watching their favorite teams play. The U.S. is not only known for football and baseball, but also a sport that was created in Massachusetts to keep kids active during a rainy day. Most major cities have professional teams. Some of the most well-known teams are the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, and who can forget Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Similar to football, the college version of the game is also very popular, particularly during the championship tournament in March, known simply as the Final Four, every college player's dream. Ice hockey, or simply known as hockey, is another popular sport in the United States. This game is more popular in regions with a cold winter climate. The NHL, National Hockey League, is the major professional hockey league in North America, with 23 US-based teams and 7 Canadian-based teams all competing for the Stanley Cup. When they don't attend the stadiums, North Americans invite their crew over to grab some beers, huddle around the TV, and watch the big games, their favorite pastime.
This man is only 27 years old and he transformed our social life. He changed the way you interact and connect with people from all over the world. This social media modified our way of living, acting, and also the way you get to know more about the lives of your friends. He is ranked as one of the world's youngest millionaires. His name is Mark Zuckerberg, and he created Facebook, the world's most successful social media.
When you logged on to the internet today, what was the first thing that you did? You probably went straight to Facebook to check up on your friends through their photos, status updates, and you may have even posted on their wall. Facebook has attracted over 750 million subscribers that spend an average of almost 6 hours per month on Facebook. The man behind it all is Mark Zuckerberg. Only 27 years old, he has amassed a personal wealth of $17.5 billion and is behind one of the biggest phenomenons of our time. Born in May of 1984 in White Plains, New York, he was raised by his mother, Karen, a psychiatrist, and father, Edward, a dentist. He has 3 sisters, Randy, Donna, and Ariel. Despite being raised a Jew, Zuckerberg describes himself as an atheist. By middle school, Zuckerberg was already using computers and writing software, quickly being labeled as a prodigy by one of his tutors. He began high school in Ardsley, but was later transferred to the elite boarding school Phillips Exeter Academy. His intelligence was obvious, winning prizes in many of his classes from math to classical studies. He can speak and write 6 languages, including Chinese and ancient Greek. After releasing a computer program called Synapse in high school, both AOL and Microsoft tried to recruit him, but he instead decided to enroll in Harvard in 2002, where he studied psychology and computer science. He at first gained notoriety among his peers when he created a program called Course Match, designed to help students choose courses and form study groups. One weekend, he decided to create a new site for fun called Face Match, a program that took students' photos from across the Harvard campus, then would pair 2 female faces together or 2 male faces together, allowing visitors to rank who was hotter or who was better looking. The site became so popular that it crashed Harvard's computer systems. While popular, the site also caused controversy, forcing Zuckerberg to offer a public apology. However, the program attracted attention, particularly from 3 fellow students, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss and Divya Narendra. They approached Zuckerberg to ask for his help in constructing a website that would be called the Harvard Connection, a dating site for Harvard's elite. Zuckerberg agreed to help on the project, but quickly dropped off to create his own site with 3 of his close friends, Dustin Moskovitz, Chris Hughes, and Eduardo Saverin. Inspired by Harvard students who were looking for better ways to connect, and by student directory books that listed various contact information and photos of students, Zuckerberg embarked on the project that would come to define him and the life of millions of people all around the globe. On February 4th, 2004, he launched Facebook from his college dorm room. At first, it was only available to Harvard students, but rapidly Zuckerberg began opening it up as well to other schools with the help of his roommate. That summer, Zuckerberg and several friends moved to Palo Alto, California, a well-known hotbed of entrepreneurship. They received their first investment and office. Even though they planned to return to Harvard, they eventually decided to just stay in California. The Facebook site rapidly took off. It was expanded to other schools and reached 5.5 million users in December 2005. Zuckerberg has always maintained that his goal with Facebook was to create an open information flow for people and to connect the world. To pursue that goal, he has turned down multiple offers from large corporations such as Yahoo and MTV to buy Facebook. However, Facebook's growth was not without snags. In 2006, the Winklevoss brothers, along with Narendra, decided to sue Zuckerberg for theft of intellectual property from their work together at the Harvard Connection. After the uncovering of some incriminating messages, Zuckerberg was forced to settle with the trio for $65 million. The setbacks, though, were just that, as Facebook and Zuckerberg have continued to influence the entire world. Time magazine named him Person of the Year in 2010, and Vanity Fair ranked him number 1 in its 2010 list of the top 100 most influential people of the information age. Early in 2011, Facebook was valued at $50 billion by Goldman Sachs. Rumors today put the potential value of Facebook at $100 billion if it were listed on the public stock exchanges. This is not without debate, however, as the company's sales are $2 billion a year. Zuckerberg currently lives in Palo Alto, California, with Priscilla Chan, who he has been dating since 2003. However, it wasn't until March 2011 that they finally changed their Facebook status to in a relationship.
We'll be right back after this short break. Don't move so you can see who's our special guest for today. This is SENA TV Web. Stay tuned.
Do you know the meaning of the expression in hot water?
Ya regresamos con TV Web Educativa. Seguimos con TV Web Educativa.
In hot water means to be in trouble or in a difficult situation in which you are likely to be punished. En español, la traducción literal es en agua caliente. Sin embargo, esta expresión se refiere a estar en problemas o en una situación difícil por la cual es probable que se reciba un castigo. For example, complaining about your boss is a sure way to get you in hot water with him. She is going to be in hot water when her dad finds out she crashed his car.
Many people in the world travel to countries to have cultural exchanges and to learn another language. If you decide to travel or live in another country, these tips and personal life experiences might come in handy.
My name is Brian O'Connor. I'm from Chicago. I had learned a little Spanish in school, and the experience was always positive. I really had fun. When I went to college, I wanted to really learn it. So I signed up to go to Mexico City on my own. What that did was it really gave me the ability to speak, where you go from a theoretical knowledge to having to use it, and it was life-changing. So there, using Spanish is basically how I think I really learned. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher basically since I came to Colombia. I love what I do. I love working with youth. I love thinking about making a better world, thinking critically, asking questions. So I think one of the best professions to be in, and I'm glad I got into it. Why Colombia? Colombia was always there because I studied anthropology. And whether it be political science, anthropology, indigenous cultures, Colombia was a country that always intrigued me. What do I like about Colombia? Well, I like living in the now. I like how people still are pretty connected to their families. Relationships still are more important than things. Work is important, but there's also people have perspective and don't overwork. But Colombia's treated me very well. I'm really happy here. I see myself here happily for a few years, many years. I think the most funny thing that happens to me of coming to Colombia with a decent Spanish, but very Mexican. And so people would look at me, see me as a gringo, but hear me speak and you know, hear the Mexican accent from chingao to órale, ándale. I'd be like el claxon, and they'd be like, no, that's the pito. When I went back to the States and I worked at a school, my Spanish was Colombian. I remember one time that I was speaking with a couple students that I said, estoy mamado. And I know it's not really vulgar to say that in Colombia, right? I'm tired. But obviously, you know, they got a big kick out of it. My hobbies are soccer. Soccer's pretty much been my passion throughout my life. I've played ever since I can walk. I run 3 days a week in this beautiful park at about 5 a.m. in the morning when it's dark, when the birds are just starting to chirp. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. I like to read. I like to read a lot. Magazines, a lot to do with social studies, history, current events, globalization, activism. The first most important tip is to want to learn it, to really have a genuine desire, push to learn it. I think without that, you're kind of kidding yourself. But my advice would just say, get a connection. music. I thought music was a great way to understand the language in a creative way, in a connected way. If you really want to learn it, try to make a couple goals. Like, I'm going to do the class, I'm going to try to go here, I'm going to try to get a group together. What does another language do for you? I think individually, personally, intellectually, it gives you a whole different way to see the world, right? To understand the world. In terms of opportunity, I mean, who doesn't have the edge or the advantage on the resume that has two languages over one? So in terms, I think, in any field, from business to the humanities to the social work, it's excellent. English is the lingua franca, right? I mean, it's the language of globalization. It's McDonald's, Walt Disney, Monsanto, Hollywood. It's kind of like, learn it if you want to be plugged in, right?
There are many cities in the United States that are not the most touristic cities in the country, but each one of these cities has its special charm. Pay attention to our following segment.
While most tourists only visit the major cities such as New York, Miami, Orlando, or Los Angeles on their trips to the United States, the more adventurous go off of the beaten path to see what other unique destinations the U.S. has to offer. They are rewarded with a plethora of variety, nature, and interesting locations and stories. If you ever ask a Texan what is the one place you have to visit in Texas, most will undoubtedly say Austin, the state's capital. It's a place where the conservative Texan culture mixes with a large liberal university crowd that creates an eclectic mix of people, restaurants, and activities that will leave every visitor screaming, "Yeehaw!" Some of the best entertainment can be found on the famous 6th Street. You can also participate in the time-honored tradition of taking a relaxing float down the Guadalupe River on an inner tube, eat at a restaurant made of former mobile homes, or put on some cowboy boots and go to an old saloon to dance some country music. As you leave Texas, you could venture across the southeastern United States to visit the country music scene of Nashville, Tennessee, enjoy the beautiful rolling Smoky Mountains, take a tour of bourbon factories in Kentucky, and see the beautiful and often secluded beaches of North and South Carolina in locations like Wilmington, the Outer Banks, and Hilton Head. When traveling across the southeastern United States, you can't miss Atlanta, famous for hosting the world headquarters of CNN and the Coca-Cola Company, which have special tours for its visitors. The southwestern U.S. arguably holds some of the most dramatic landscape in the United States. A great place to explore the Southwest is Utah, in particular Park Cities and Moab. Park Cities is located just outside Salt Lake City and is home to numerous ski resorts and hosts the U.S.'s largest film festival, Sundance. Sundance is a world-renowned festival that showcases films from across the world and plays hosts to some of the biggest names in the film industry every January, while also launching the careers of many independent filmmakers. Moab is an outdoor enthusiast's dream, with an abundance of outdoor activities ranging from world-renowned mountain biking, climbing, hiking, rafting, and much more. It also hosts picturesque rock formations, such as the Delicate Arch. The last frontier in the United States is definitely Alaska. While it covers a land area much larger than Colombia and is twice the size of Texas, the U.S.'s second biggest state, it only has slightly over 700,000 inhabitants, leaving plenty of wide open places to explore. Some of the most notable locations are Denali National Park, the Kenai Peninsula, and the Brooks Range. To get around such a large state, it is often necessary to take some of Alaska's iconic bush planes, piloted by some of the world's most experienced commercial pilots. Winters in Alaska are extremely cold and provide extremely little daylight, while in the summer the sun almost never stops shining. It is a great place to see an abundance of wildlife, such as polar bears, grizzly bears, moose, bald eagles, puffins, and whales. It offers world-class fishing of every type, and some of the most picturesque scenery in the United States. Way off in the Pacific Ocean, 6 large islands compose the Aloha state of Hawaii, another unique place in the United States that offers amazing sights and experiences. There are an abundance of ways to experience Hawaii, from a variety of ocean activities such as surfing to visiting active volcanoes, world-class golfing, or taking a romantic, relaxing trip to enjoy your significant other. Hawaii will be able to fulfill all of the vacation dreams of beachgoers. Make sure to experience an Hawaiian Luau, or traditional Hawaiian feast, while you are there complete with tiki torches, Hawaiian leis, which are necklaces made of flower petals, and hula dancers. So go to the US and see the major cities, but while you are at it, get off the beaten path and you will be very pleasantly rewarded with unique and amazing experiences.
We'll be right back after this short break with more fun facts and entertainment. This is SENA TV Web. Don't move.
Do you know the meaning of the expression pony up?
Ya regresamos con TV Web Educativa. Seguimos con TV Web Educativa.
Pony up is an expression that means to pay. En español, la traducción literal es pony levantado. Sin embargo, el verdadero significado de esta expresión es pagar. For example, we had to pony up a lot of money for the expensive dinner that we had yesterday.
Hi everyone and welcome to our English tip for today. This lesson is part of the National Learning Service SENA bilingual programs and it is made for you. Today you will learn about common abbreviations in English. Hay expresiones abreviadas que son utilizadas muy frecuentemente en inglés y por tal razón es importante conocerlas para poder utilizarlas. Por ejemplo, ASAP es la abreviación de As Soon As Possible, que significa lo más pronto posible. FYI es la abreviación de For Your Information, que significa para tu información. LOL es la abreviación de Laughing Out Loud, que significa reírse en voz alta. BRB es la abreviación de Be Right Back, que significa regreso enseguida. VIP es la abreviación de Very Important Person, que significa persona muy importante. Stay tuned to TV Web SENA so you can learn more English. Bye everyone. Thank you so much, Philip. TTYL. High five.
Eight presidents never attended college: Washington, Jackson, Van Buren, Taylor, Fillmore, Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, and Cleveland.